This is CPM Calculus Chapter 5, Number 11. A horizontal flag composed of a quarter circle and a straight line segment is shown at the right. A. Imagine rotating the flag about its horizontal pole and describe the resulting three-dimensional figure. Draw a picture of this figure on your paper. So since this part is the quarter circle, if you reflect it across the horizontal line, this is what it'll look like. In order for it to look more like a three-dimensional figure, it'll look something like this. Ultimately, the three-dimensional figure will look like a hemisphere with a cylinder at the end. Letter B, find the volume of the rotated flag. So in order for you to find the volume of the rotated flag, which is a hemisphere with a cylinder, you'll have to have the equations of a hemisphere and a cylinder. So the volume of a hemisphere is V, and then put hem for hemisphere, equals 2/3 pi r cubed. And for a cylinder, it will be V sil equals pi r squared h for height. Now to begin this problem, you can find each shape by itself and then add both volumes of each shape in order to find the volume of the entire three-dimensional figure. So first, let's start with the volume of a hemisphere. So let's write down the equation once again. 2/3 pi r cubed. And then let's fill in what is already known. So from the figure, the original figure, we know that the radius of the hemisphere, or the radius is 2. I'll actually redraw the hemisphere so it's easier for you guys to see. So the radius of a hemisphere, of the hemisphere from this problem is 2. Whoops. Is 2. So since that's one side, then we can assume that the other side, the radius is also 2 for the other side. So since we established that the radius is 2, we can simply plug that into the equation. So then it ultimately becomes 2/3 times, so 2 times 2 is 4, and that times 2 is 8. That's 2 to the third power, and that equals 8. And then put pi there. And then 2/3 times 8 is 16/3 pi. For now, you can leave it with pi, and that's units cubed since we're finding the volume. So this is volume of the hemisphere. Now next we're going to find the volume of the cylinder. So V sil equals pi r squared h. So let's redraw the cylinder so it's easier to see. So from the original diagram, or the original figure, we know that the radius is 1 and that the height is half of 4, so that's 2. Because so we get 2 from 4 divided by 2, and that equals 2. Okay, so let's fill in what's known. So r equals 1, and the height is 2. So then we can multiply that, and that's 2 pi units cubed for the cylinder. So in order to get the volume of the entire figure, you can do Vhem plus volume of the cylinder equals volume of the figure. So then that is 13 over 3 pi plus 2 pi equals, 16 over 3. So that is 22 over 3 pi units squared. Remember to box your answers. This is the end of CPM Calculus Chapter 5, number 11.